The great thing about the Big East Conference, which is the best conference in all of college basketball, is you always got another great opportunity ahead. Obviously, we played St. John's once. They got us a few weeks ago back here at home. Coach Anderson's doing a great job. He's got them playing good basketball. Always start with them. You think about their pace of play. They're number one in the country in pace of play. They're going to play extremely fast, off misses, makes, turnovers. I mean, they play like it feels like the floor's almost tilted it towards their hoop with the pace that they play at. They do a great job of sharing the ball, moving the ball in the half court in their motion. Obviously Champagne is a tremendous player. He's an all-conference level player, one of the best whatever you want to call them, wings or forwards in the country, obviously in the Big East as well. He presents a lot of challenges on that end. Then Posh Alexander is a young man. He was Big East Rookie of the Year last year. I think he may have been Defensive Player of the Year as well. He just impacts the game in so many different ways. You think his tenacity, his toughness, his rebounding from the guard position. He's going to offensive rebound when the ball goes up there. He's going to pressure. He's going to try to take your ball. He's relentless with his approach. I thought in game one, we really got hurt with transition defense. I never forget we showed our guys along. We watched basically the whole game of how poor our transition defense was against St. John's. And you have to be disciplined with it. We have to get the floor balanced. And what that means is we got to get our guards back on the lift of the shot. We can't jam outlets. We have to sprint back, talk, match up, run in trailer opposite, all of our rules that we work on every single day. Then in the half court, we can't let them play one-on-one basketball. They got some really talented one-on-one players. They're going to try to drive you and take you. We got to keep our defense tight. We got to guard the ball. And then we got at the other end, we got to take care of it and value it. St. John's is a team that they're going to try to pressure you for 40 minutes. They're going to reach. They're going to play passing lanes. We got to do a great job taking care of the ball.
Travis, what gives you confidence or hope that your team can sort of snap out of this current streak? Like, where are you at with that in your own head?
Yeah, listen, we didn't play well last game. And give Seton Hall credit. That's not to take anything away from Seton Hall. Seton Hall made us pay for every single mistake we made. They made a lot of shots. But I thought against Providence, our play was good enough to win. It was. And I showed our guys today film of, listen, we've had 3 shots to beat Providence. One by AK, one by Colby, one by Paul here at home. We've had a shot to beat Villanova here at home. And I told those guys, I said, fellas, like, if those shots would have went in, how much different would you feel? Those are considered, if you look at the Big East standings, I think two of the top teams, obviously Providence, I think they've won the Big East now, regular season title, which congratulations to them. Ed Cooley's done a great job with his crew. But that's the margin of error, right? It's the difference between winning and losing is so narrow, and people will remember those final possessions maybe when we missed the shot or whatever it was. But I remember possession 2, possession 3, possession 4, possession 5 were they're just as important as possession 74 in the game. We just got to stick with it. We played really well. I think UConn's as talented as any team in our league, and we beat them here. We led from start to finish. So like I have complete confidence in our group. I really do. And I talked to our guys about maintaining their belief. We do things the right way. We prepare the right way. We practice the right way. We train the right way. We have to execute our defensive system. That's what will turn our season. If you look at our defensive numbers, Adam, in the last 10 games, we haven't had 7 kills. 10 games. If you look at it from a perspective of Ken Palm, we've went from, I think it was 35 to 62 in defense during that stretch. And I think our guys are playing hard. But we got to execute our defensive system. The system's not broke. It's like I told them, listen, we've done this for years. And when we've done it right this year, right, we've been in. We didn't do it even at Providence. I thought offensively we played really well against Providence. We played hard. But, our defense wasn't good enough to win. And ultimately. And, again, we have to hang our hat on that. That takes zero talent. That's a decision that our guys make every single day. They know what to do. We have to do it. We have to be disciplined with our approach and execute it, regardless of who we're playing. Every team's going to be a little bit different with their strengths and weaknesses, right? But it's always going to be more about us. I don't care who we're playing. And if we do that, if we change it around on the defensive end, there's no question in my mind we're going to go on a big run here.
How do you feel like practice went today?
I thought it was good, really good. I thought, we kept it to about a little bit less, around an hour. Didn't compete a ton. Just worked our defensive system heavy. Obviously worked ball security heavy, because we're about to play, obviously, St. John's here. But I thought it was really good. And I told our guys, listen, we have no time for guys to be down. You can't. You got to be positive. You got to get yourself off that mat. You got to keep swinging. And we got a great opportunity here with St. John's on the road.
Do you have an update on Nate Johnson?
He did practice today. So it's the first time he's practiced, since the injury. He looked good. I have not spoken to him or Dave Fluker since we just got out of practice, but I thought he looked good out there.
So are we looking at probably another game time decision on him?
I hope not. I would love to get him out there. But like I said before, it's whatever he's comfortable with. He knows his body better than anybody. He feels it. He wants to be out there with his teammates. I want to make that loud and clear. He understands how badly we need him out there on both ends of the floor, and he wants to win. He wants to experience what we all want to experience. So he knows what the goals are, and hopefully we'll be able to get him out there on Wednesday.
And you mentioned something that I wanted to ask you about, because you talked about this on Saturday after the Seton Hall game, and, I'm probably as guilty as anyone talking about the shooting. And a lot of that gets lumped on Nate's shoulders, and it's like, oh, you don't have Nate, your best shooter, that's a problem. But I'm curious, like, how much do you think that you've missed him on the other end of the floor? Because Nate can defend.
Yeah, we've obviously missed him on both ends. Listen, he's a prolific shooter. He's a really good defender as well. But it's listen, we haven't shot the ball well during this period as well. But again, I said it. The Providence, we didn't shoot well, but our offense was terrific. Even looking against Seton Hall, our OER, our points per possession, was 1.02. Even though we made basically 50% of our free throws, and we had some loud turnovers there in the second half, 4 in a row, and we were still at a 1.02. If we make 5 or 6 more free throws and we knock down 2 or 3 turnovers, our OER would have been about a 1.2 points per possession, which Seton Hall's a really good defensive team, right? Really good. And so I think shooting, it hides a multitude of sins. Listen, I'm not going to lie, it does. But we can control the defensive end. Doing our system. That's all I care about. That's all I want to be good at here moving forward. I want to value the ball, take care of that, and then I want to execute our defensive system. If we do that, we'll go on the run that we need to be able to go on here at the end.
Hey, Travis, St. John seems to be like a two-edged sword offensively. Everybody talks about the turnovers that they forced, the layups, the dunks, whatever. But like in game one, they had 24 assists, I think, on 34 field goals. I mean, they're pretty efficient half court.
Yeah, they are. They can be very explosive offensively, Andy. When they shoot the ball like they did against us in game one, man, and they've done it not just against us. Butler, I think, was their next game, and I want to say they beat them by almost 40. And it was like, man, you see the same thing. It's like that pace of play, how they move the ball, share it. And they got multiple guys who can do it. It's not just like they have just one all-league guy. They got a lot of guys. Steph Smith's good. They got Coburn's really good. He killed us in game one. Killed us. And, Aaron Wheeler has had a game of over 30 in the Big East play. They got a lot of guys who can do it. Just makes them so explosive on that offensive end.
Game one, you only played, I think, 7, and Nate wasn't available. It might have been the first game he wasn't available. I'm not quite sure.
Yep.
But and they played 10, and now they got Pinson, so that's 11.
Yep.
Maybe it'll be a little more even bench points and bench minutes.
Yeah, their team's obviously very different than ours, Andy. Every team has strengths and weaknesses. We have to be able to figure out if we can play big or not. I thought during parts of that game we could. There were parts where it hurt us as well. And I think that's a big key going into this game against St. John's. And then secondly, I would say, hopefully we can get Nate back because we need another guard. Because I do think playing small can be a really good look against St. John's. And if we're going to play small, though, sometimes it's like, man, we run out of guards real quick. It's like we got them all on the floor at the same time. But I think we need guys like Ben and Jerome to really step up here and be able to defend them and take care of the ball. Because I do think there's times where you got to play small against St. John's, especially with certain lineups that they have in, because they try to space you out. Like they'll put Aaron Wheeler at the 5, right? And it's like, man, that's a hard cover for a big guy, a really, really hard cover because he's an elite shooter. And they try to really space you out. So, and we could play some zone as well, but I would anticipate us playing more than 7 in this game, especially with the pace of play that St. John's plays at.
You look at game 1, I think you had 14 turnovers, they had 14. But the 14 doesn't seem like a horrible number in that pace of game. But they just scored a ton of points. There were a lot of loud ones.
Yeah, you can't have live ball turnovers against St. John's. It's usually a layup or a 3 at the other end. And we had too many of those in game 1. And they do some with their full court pressure. They turn you over more, though, in the half court. Like they just reach in, playing passing lanes. You can't be casual with the ball. They'll gamble, and they're good at it. And they scramble from there. It's how they practice every single day. So we have to really, really value the ball, get open where we need to get open, keep 2 hands on the ball at all times. Little details matter. We had 2 turnovers on inbounds as well against St. John's. It was towards the end of the game, but we got to be way better in just all areas of taking care of the ball. If we can value the ball, that'll help get our defense set.
I think they blocked 7 shots and they altered a bunch of. I mean, they're a lot better in interior defense than they get credit for.
They are. What they do? It's funny. Like they're a very reactive defense, right? So to shot fakes. Shot fakes are great against them. But when you drive it, they're going to send the cavalry in there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be all 5 guys trying to block your shot, trying to take your ball. So spacing is incredibly important in this game. You have to maintain spacing on the second and third sides of the floor. You have to be able to use their aggressiveness against them. And if you do that, I think we'll get some really good looks. You got to be able to knock a couple shots in against St. John's because they go so heavy in on dribble penetration and post-ups. They post-trap Zach and Jack last game. I'd anticipate them doing that again. And so we got to be able to move the ball, maintain our space, and I think that'll really help our decisions.
Cool, thanks.